Back at the control tower, I see.
Good.
You use the button, have to do it today or what?
Yeah.
You use the button, have to do it today or what?
Oh, it's a good trade-off, right?
So we're up. All right, I call the meeting to order. Becky, you want to do roll call?
Bob Olson,
Here.
John Nicholson.
Yes.
Mike Copine,
Here.
Jim Sheeline.
Here.
Chris Norberg,
Present.
Doug Farster.
Present.
Thank you. Approval of minutes from the previous meeting. I think there's a couple of meetings we have minutes from, right?
They are in your packet.
We can do them all together. Is there any corrections, changes or corrections?
I'll move them all as a group.
And will you give the dates too, so they have them for the record?
I give the dates out.
Sure. I'd be moving minutes from September 29th. That's all. Is that all I have?
And September 9th.
I gotta keep going. There we go, in September 9th. Okay.
I
And I would
second that.
move minutes, those two meetings.
All right. Jim first, Chris seconds it. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We'll go to the visitors. We'll go around the room. John, where are you supposed to be? You're gonna visit Maryland? Wendy? Okay. All right, we'll keep moving then. We passed around the monthly claim sheet.
Not yet. Where's it coming?
Let's circle back to that. Let everybody get a chance to look at that. Just don't let me forget it. Let's go to number 6, petitions coming to the zoning board of appeals. We want all these A, B, C, and D on the agenda.
You're gonna skip over the committee chair reports?
No, we better go back to that. All right. Go ahead.
Since I pointed that out, you're
Yes.
gonna make me go
Yep, you
first.
go first.
That's
Right.
fine. Of course, we just got done. Wendy gave an update on the ARPA meeting. We moved up to executive, the 3 Joseph Meyer resolutions. They were routine. We did move up the budget and the levy. We tabled the approval of having Whitley perform the financial audit. Got any questions on that? It was simply a little bit of a snafu in regards to the audit company that we had approved. So, but as the discussion went through, another question arose, so that got tabled, and we'll bring that back to next month. So if that got through, I don't think, is that on the proposed agenda? Okay, I don't see that you had on the draft agenda, Nancy, so we won't do anything with that. We did move up to this committee, the new hire, the sheriff reported that he had the opportunity to hire the new hires that have been approved through the budget that we just moved up early, and he did have the salary line item within his budget to do that, and so we gave him approval, or moved up to this committee approval to go ahead and do those hires. Let's see, we set up the ordinance PACE program, and the board organizational software that was on our agenda. We did defer that. We didn't formally table it. We just deferred it and gave staff direction to have a complete package as far as the software, the hardware cost, and the infrastructure cost to come back, and hopefully we can get that next month, and we have a good, strong package to present to the board.
That was the board book you're talking about?
Yeah, the software for the voting and all that, and then how do we handle the hardware to that and the infrastructure and everything. So then we had a short executive session in regards to an issue that Mr. Norberg needs to handle in the employee handbook, and that's all I have.
Questions? John, you have a question? All right, Mike. Copine, you want to give report?
Sure. Probably
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Public safety met yesterday here in this room. The previous, previous meeting minutes were approved. We reviewed and made a motion and approved claims to be forwarded on. We had a quick update from the state's attorney regarding some of the collected unpaid fines. Quarterly update on dangerous and abandoned properties from the sheriff. Just an ongoing operation there. Under old business, the UTV discussion was kind of short, just mention of the details involved in the ordinance itself, and that there's some continuing action on that. New business, the committee had approved the acceptance by the state's attorney of handling Amboy ordinance violations, and that was passed on to the finance committee. The new hires were just gone over by Mr. Sheeline from the finance committee. We were in favor of this action also on behalf of the sheriff's department. We had a resolution appointing William Matthew to West Brooklyn Fire Protection District. That was approved in the meeting and forwarded to the executive committee. And that's about all I have to report.
UTV, they don't have anything ready to go this month for the ordinance.
There's still a lot of details,
Okay.
Bob, that are
Well, I imagine. Yeah.
technical stuff, but it's getting whittled down.
All right. More questions for Mike? Thanks, Mike. Doug?
Okay, Transportation Committee, of course, met this last Tuesday, October 12th. Went over the usual business. Approved the minutes from the September meeting. Audit claims were also approved, audited the books, those were approved. We had a lengthy discussion, well, before I get to that, we had approval on a trailer bid. That's for the new backhoe for the excavator, excuse me. Went ahead and approved that. Eventually we got to the UTV ordinance, and it was brought to the Transportation Committee on a recommendation that they felt, since it was obviously the UTVs would be using the county roads if this motion, if it goes ahead with the ordinance. We had, like I said, it was an hour and a half meeting, so it's very lengthy. Came out committee 4-1 in favor of to recommend. It says the Transportation Solid Waste Committee feels that if the county UTV ordinance is followed and if all roadway users adhere to the rules of the road, that UTVs are safe on county highways. Passed 4-1. And that's about all I have right now. If anyone has any questions or anything, I'll be glad to answer them.
Any questions? Thanks, Doug. John, you want to give properties?
Met last Tuesday, reviewed and paid the bills. Much of our discussion later on was on completion of the duct cleaning and refurbishing some of the courthouse. Greg and I, who is the actual project engineer, but a gentleman by the name of Jonathan. All the improvements have gone quite well. Great, up and down, up and down. Been up on the list. We're going this spot. They would be out of there tomorrow, so because of the rain last week. Some minor things. We have a $5,000 deduct coming for a few minor things they added, but our own staff will do $5,000. We also had an extensive conversation on the over here. Favor as long as we, informed of what's going on. So that was everybody.
Questions for John? Thanks, John. Chris?
We met on Tuesday. We had a very short meeting, paid the bills, and yeah, literally talked about not a whole lot. So I don't have a whole lot to report.
All right, that's quick. Any questions for that report? All right. All right, now after everybody's seen the monthly claim sheet, I entertain a motion to approve that.
So the
Chris first, Mike seconds it. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Now we go down to petitions coming to the zoning board of appeals. We have A through D. We want all of them on the agenda.
Yes, please.
All right. A discussion on that? Don?
We don't, okay, can I interrupt just 1 second? Do we need a motion for every single one of these, or can we just do it?
We need a motion to put them all together in one and then,
No, we should just need a motion at the end for what's going on the agenda.
For the
Oh.
approved agenda, right?
yeah, so we don't have to, we'll just put these, keep going until we get all done then.
Yes.
Okay, all right, thank you.
A through D.
A through D, we're all good with putting them on the agenda. All right, and then we go to section 7 here. We're taking that out. That won't be on the board agenda.
Correct.
Let's,
I'm sorry, you're taking it off?
yes, 7. Then we go to 8, petitions coming to the planning commission.
That came out of renewable energy. Yes,
Okay,
it needs to be on the agenda.
we need that on the agenda. Yep. 9, there's none. 10, we have a guest speaker, RWE Wind Company. Is D here? Yeah, she was here. That was quick. Okay, well, I talked to her earlier. They want to talk, their wind turbine company by Amboy going south or northeast. So we'll listen to what they have to say. Anybody got any problems with them? Let's go to old business. Redistricting, election and census data. I think Nancy wants to give an update. Right? Not here, but you want that on the agenda?
No, I mean, I can, really, the only thing I have to say is that with the mapping, it's just, the girls are in a crucial spot right now, and to have lost Tom, they're just kind of hanging out there. And like you said, they need to have this done within the next 30 days. So, I mean, I'm with Wendy and we're just trying to get this figured out.
Is that something, excuse me, is that something we want the contractor to do? Would that be something they could do?
It's definitely something we can talk about. First, we need to have a contractor, so that's on your agenda.
Yes, but I mean, is that something maybe we'll talk about, or do we need approval, prior approval, or how do we need to do, go forward?
I
guess?
think the contract needs to be addressed by the whole county board. It's on 12I.
Yeah, I get that, but once it's approved, you know, can we go ahead and engage them? While we're talking about
Absolutely.
Well,
it. I mean, will you leave it up to me and Wendy to figure out is where I'm going with that? I need
you
some
know, we did
direction.
not, what came before the finance committee, there was no dollar. And I asked a question of how many dollars are we potentially being exposed here to? And and I understand,
We don't know what we
hard
don't
to
know at this
understand
point.
what-
Yeah.
how many hours we could be talking about. But
I just want permission from this committee to move forward if that's what we want, if we feel that's what we need to do to get our election stuff done in 30 days.
I would say that, shouldn't, I guess I should take and ask, could we put a top dollar amount of,
Yeah.
the cap of this is how much you can spend. I didn't do that in my committee.
I think it's $175 an hour.
Right. And it's unfortunate because like I said, we're in a time crunch. Because January, I'm supposed to, or anyone else that's running is supposed to go out with their petitions. So it's a complete total mess. And then on top of this, it's unfortunate that we lost the GIS help with to have the girls finish up the mapping. And then there was the whole other census part that, wasn't completed yet, so that he could do that other part.
What we could do, well, I was gonna ask a question, how much money, because of what happened there, how much money's left in that line item, and we just go up to that amount as a cap and go from there.
And that's up to you, Mr.
Yeah, but I think we'll look at that. And if we can keep it in that parameters, if everybody's all right, I think we'll go ahead and engage them if it's all approved next Thursday. Because then we're one more week into it, what I mean? So now we're down to 3 weeks, so. I might have Wendy reach out to the company and maybe tell them that's out there on the horizon. Get them ready to do that. If everybody's all right with that. Marilyn, you okay with that? We do it that way? All right. Any other questions?
And then on that same note, looks like the ETA for the new election equipment will also be rolling in January. They were, the new company that we went with, Liberty Systems, was very nice and dropped off one of each piece of equipment. So the girls have it in their office so they can kind of play around, and then training will then go forward once the equipment's here in January.
Sounds good. Questions for Nancy?
So were we leaving it on or taking it off? Okay,
Taking it off, I think.
thank you.
All right. Updated claims procedure. When do you,
No, that does not have to be on there.
you want to update us on it though? Where we at with it?
Chris is waiting for Wendy and Paula to do something.
Okay.
So Paula had asked me very respectfully and multiple times to wait till she got through the tax collection process. And that's winding down this month with the tax sale. And then she's ready to jump in with both feet. Obviously, it wasn't just Paula and myself, but we needed to include Nancy and her staff in this conversation for logistically what's the best way to go forward. So honestly, it's been on hold waiting for Paula to have some freed up time.
Sure. Okay. Any questions? So 11 A, B, and C does not have to be on the agenda. Would everybody agree with that? Let's go to D, resolution for board rules and procedures. I don't think we're ready for that either. Or- Chris?
We're not, no.
Okay, so then we'll take that out of there also.
Leave it on there. We can table it.
Okay,
On table it now or?
County boards.
County.
That way it just carries over next month, but we'll just table it at that point, I guess. Sorry.
yeah, I think that'd be, keep it relevant. Okay, let's go to E, ordinance for property assessed clean energy program, CPACE. That'll come out of finance today or?
Yes, correct. That came out of finance. So if you recall, a couple months ago, that was approved through this board. And what we're doing now is we're actually following the necessary steps to implement the program. So what you have in your packet that got sent to you was the implementation ordinance and a administrative services agreement, because the administration of this, or the primary administration of this, is going to go to the IECA. Bobby, you'll notice that we do have some individuals online here in case there's any questions regarding this. Again, this is to reiterate, this is something that you voted to approve a couple months ago, and now we're just, moving forward with the mechanics of it.
And we're gonna lay the ordinance over 30 days. If it's
Yes,
approved.
it's an ordinance, so it'll lay over for 30 days till November.
Do we have any questions for the? You do, John?
I don't know. I just.
We addressed this at length at the finance committee, and we did have some conversations there, but some of you weren't there. So if you have any questions, we've got some representatives from IECA, and Anna Marie is here and Seema is here from Chapman and Cutler. And it looks like we have David Sykes also. Good morning.
All right, so we got everybody. Any questions? Done, we'll move on. Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
All right, we'll go to new business. So on 11, let's be clear, we only have E on the agenda, correct?
Right.
Okay, thank you. Let's go to 12,
No, you
No,
got
no.
D, you have D and E.
D and E. D, we're gonna
Yep,
table.
Oh,
Okay,
we do have the,
okay.
Yeah, we're gonna table it just so it
Yep,
stays.
that's right. I'm sorry.
oh, gotcha.
As a, sorry, we have to do it next month.
Okay, 12, new business. The 3 Joseph Meyer resolutions are on there. We have a resolution for the zoning fees. That's on there. I got a copy. Does everybody have a copy of them? Any questions or discussions? The only thing you change is the pipeline fee, correct?
That's all we're gonna address at this point. Just
Okay, So we'll definitely have that on the agenda. B, 2021 jail inspection report, that'll be on the agenda. We need a full board approval. Amboy ordinance violations handled by the Lee County State's Attorney. We'll have that on the agenda. Ordinance for the year 2022 annual budget appropriation. Have that with the tax levy. Ordinance for the PACE program.
And that's a layover.
All three of them were- yeah.
Okay. They were laid over already?
No.
No.
Oh, okay, all right, all right. Organizational software, do we want that on the agenda?
I don't believe so. I think it's been discussed in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For
finance-
further information.
Yeah, finance gave, specific direction on a package and additional information that they'd like to see come back next month. So no, that can be just either, held over or
Okay,
tabled.
we'll get rid of that one. So GIS contract hire, we want that on the agenda. Do we want to discuss it while we're here?
Let's see where there's a,
Ducking your mic should be.
I'm fully in favor of that. We need to get the help, especially coming up with the election and all, and to fill that niche until we can fill.
I might maybe have Wendy reach out, get an estimate, and then I might call around if it's, see what it is, where that, everybody's okay with that.
To the point, I know she did reach out to somebody and Carmen was very, very comfortable with the contract employee. So that gives me reassurance.
There's somebody in mind already, and I think we need to do that.
The positive about this particular contract is there is no monthly or annual fee to, sign up or anything else. It's literally just, well, not that just is a small amount, but it's $175 per hour as we need them. There's no other fees, sign up or otherwise, that go with this. So
And do they have the same program we do? I mean, 'cause they might be a little better at it, might not take us as long. So, when they do this, the GIS program, you know what I'm saying?
They have the same program and I think that's why we went to this because
Yep.
this was the guy who they've got in mind was actually the one who I believe trained Carmen and worked.
Yeah, Carmen knows and trusts us.
Okay. All right. Let's-
Hold on, Marilyn.
My only concern is, we need somebody ASAP. Is this person available ASAP?
but this is actually not a person, it's a company. So here's the good news. Depending upon what we ask of them, they're going to go to different staff and be able to, go and tap into the expertise of the various staff. So this is going to sound familiar to many of you. This is the Sidwell Company. As I told Bob earlier this week, I went to the go-to company that I've worked with for many, many years because I felt like time was of the essence. I didn't take time to send out a request for qualifications. I went to a company that we've had a long-standing relationship with and said, do you offer this service? And amazingly, or maybe not, they said, we do this all the time because counties will find themselves for whatever reason out without GIS staff, whether it be transitioning, whatever it is, and we provide this service and very successfully. So to answer your question, Marilyn, I think we've got a number of staff available to us depending upon what the need is.
Wendy, are we gonna need a signed contract or are we already in?
No, these guys work for the Sidwell Company. We're signing a contract with Sidwell to provide the services.
That's the thing. I mean, if we have to sign an up-to-date contract, we used to do this daily almost, but I don't think we have.
We have two software programs of theirs we still use in the assessment office. But no, we do our map maintenance in-house now, so we don't use them on the level we used to, but again, they're still out there.
Thing, they may need an up-to-date signed contract to provide the service that we want. I think everybody was in this room and understands the situation. There was one man short, the GIS department.
And actually, that contract is what I disseminated with your board, or Becky disseminated with your packet. So there is a copy of that updated contract that John's referring to in your packet.
All right. Any other questions? I might send out an email when we get a estimate of what it's going to cost. And when I do that, I'll send it to executive, but if you need to talk to me, do it individually. Don't send it back on the group email. I think we all know that. So, all right. Oh, I think we need yes, we need the kind. You want that on the agenda?
Just because if we want them to work, we need to have a contract. They won't probably work.
I think we need full board approval for that. I'm talking about putting them to work right away.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm a little unclear. I know that in the past, for example, with like, for example, DevNet, the tax administration software, when it comes to like re-upping them, we typically would have a state's attorney's office review the contract, and then it doesn't necessarily every time to go before the full board. Charlie, do you have any words of wisdom on this case? Does it need to go before the full board as a new contract? What do you think?
I think it probably does because it's something new that you guys are doing. It's a new agency. that
Service.
we're- Yep.
Okay. That's kind of the direction I was going and why it was on the agenda, but I just wanted to clarify.
so let's leave it on the agenda and maybe we get that contract by then and go from there. All right. But this is a resolution, right? Or what is this?
It's a resolution.
All right, we'll do that in resolutions and appointments. So we got, I've got a Quad City Health Insurance Q-chip appointment to the Board of Directors. Anybody got this resolution? It's
Should
not,
be on everybody's desk, and that was something that I failed to put on there.
well, that's all right. We want to put this on the agenda.
Those are appointments.
Yep, go on our appointments.
So it's another one spot.
Yep, so all these other ones will be there,
Plus this one.
plus this one.
Yep.
Perfect.
And we're just doing, yeah, we're gonna, yep.
Who gets the credit for pulling Charlie out of retirement?
Oh, that would be our own Charlie. So Charlie's a Charlie's a Charlie whisperer. All right. All 13 plus the Q-chip for resolutions, go to raffle report. Of course, we want Papa, all three of them on there. Any questions?
We don't put raffle reports on. We've all seen it. We're all.
Yeah.
We just gotta prove it here.
Do them in executive.
Okay, you're right. Um,
And then just for you guys that are looking at the copy of the agenda for next week, I moved the two appointments up to the beginning of the agenda, so then I can swear them in office and then they can vote. So
okay.
We need a motion to approve the raffle reports, correct?
Yep.
Yep, I'll make a motion to approve raffle.
Second, that.
Chris first, seconds, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Chris and Jim.
Yep.
Yes.
I'm sorry, slow down a little bit. Executive session, I don't have anything for executive unless somebody else does. All
I'm
right,
sorry, Bob. To going back to appointments, am I leaving the UTV on there?
yes, the UTV is who the committees are.
The committee appointments, sorry.
Yep. We're just doing housekeeping there to. Everything else. I need a motion to approve the agenda.
I'd move that, Sheila.
Sheila first. John Nicholson seconds it. Any discussion? All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? I need a motion to adjourn.
So the.
Chris and Doug Forster seconds it. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Thank you, everybody.